world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel today, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing Episode 2 of Loki, Season 1, The Variant. I was actually kind of hyped for this episode because I really liked the first episode of Loki. I mean, I didn't love it or anything, but it kind of got me excited for other episodes. So let's not delay any more time and get started talking about Episode 2, The Variant. So what I liked about this episode was really just the way it kind of focused on what if, like how you can how you can affect branches, how it all talks about nexuses, apocalypse and stuff like that, how you can create branches in the sacred timeline, but then different ways you can still go to timelines without messing them up. Like there's literally a scene where Loki finds out that you can't do that. You can't. There's specific timelines that if you go to them, you can't mess them up. Even if you do something. So he basically talks, and the answer to those timelines is apocalypse. Where they're talking about tsunamis, earthquakes, Ragnarok, the destruction of Asgard and half of its people. It all does. Basically, if you can do anything you want. You could set the Asgard palace on fire. You can do bunches of things. You can kill Odin. You can do whatever you want. But that's not gonna stop Ragnarok. It's not gonna create a branch, because whatever you do, you're not gonna stop the apocalypse from happening. So, well, I mean, unless you find a way to do it, I guess. If you do that, I don't know. But that's just my point. If you can't cause branches unless you're going to a timeline where an apocalypse is happening. So that's kind of how it's kind of cool. Another thing that I also really liked how I kind of liked these types of shows a little bit, as it's more of a detective story, where I was thinking it was gonna be, that same old stuff where it was gonna be obviously it's definitely something very new, where it's all about these time protectors and stuff like that, and like it basically is a detective story, where I like how it is a detective story inside of the MCU. For these characters to be going to different timelines and protecting it, I actually kind of like the way they do that. And like they go to 1985, and they're like I feel like that this is the one where I feel like it has the most detective vibe, because it literally opens up with a scene where the Minutemen are getting killed by this person, by one of those Minute women. And then Mobius, some of the Minuteman agents, and Loki go to that timeline where they were attacked, and they find the bodies on the ground, just like when Episode 1 opened, when Mobius and one of the other Minutemen agents were there, and they found a dead Minuteman on the ground, dead. So it has. I think that the detective stuff in this episode also really works, and it also is just kind of very funny. I mean, once again, Mobius and Loki just have great chemistry together. I'm not sure if it was as good as in Episode 1, but in this episode it definitely works well enough. And then also, it also has that kind of detective thing where Ravonna and Mobius are talking that you have one last chance to solve this. You have one last chance to handle this case. Otherwise, you're out of the table. So it has some nice touches of that detectiveness in this show. And it's kind of cool to because it's a detective story, but then it has different parts of the MCU added to it, and then some new stuff into it as well. And then, of course, probably probably the best scene of the entire episode is probably the opening scene where they have the hero song playing. It's just very fun to listen to, especially in a show like this. Especially how like an action sequence like this is going on. So I thought that was really cool. And then also it had some cool action sequences, especially with Loki and the other variant. And one of the other variants, I thought it was cool, but the action in this show is a bit weak. I will say that the visuals are great, but the action isn't that great. I mean, obviously, of course, I love action when people grab things and just start beating people up with it. That's what it looked like in the trailers, but that's not really what you got here. So I was a little bit disappointed with the action, but we'll get into that in a bit. And I also kind of liked. It kind of got me excited for future episodes because at the end of the episode, we are now revealed that Lady Loki is in the picture, which means she went through a TVA portal, and Loki went with her. So I wonder where that's gonna lead into. Like where is that gonna lead? So it questions me, like, are we gonna get like this little relationship with Loki and Lady Loki? Cause like, seems pretty interesting. And are we gonna get that comic book suit of Loki that he wears in the comics? I mean, obviously, we sort of got that in the Avengers, but like an actual comic book suit where he has gloves, he gets powers and stuff like that. Like, not just knives, but like actual powers. Like, I want to see that sort of stuff. And probably I'm also excited to see where we can get with him as King of Asgard. So that's the good stuff about this episode. With that said, let's go on with the bad. So the big problem here is that I just felt like that there was a lot of talking in the episode, and it kind of bored me out of the episode a little bit. And I mean, in the first episode, the talking in the episode, one of the weak things about the first episode is that it was just slow. The way you kind of got the places, it just felt slow. But the specific, like, talking in that episode didn't bother me because I was interested into it. It felt like a detective, something a detective would do. And then, but in this episode, when the people were talking, it just felt slow and I couldn't really understand it that much. So talking makes the episode a little slow for me. And then, like I said, the action is not really that good. I mean, it has a cool action sequence at the beginning, especially with the hero song, and then with Loki fighting one of the variants, but it's just not that cool. I mean, it's just not. I don't really like the action in this show, but some of them do look cool in the trailers that I've seen. So we have 4 more episodes left, so we still have more time to have some awesome Loki action from all these TVA agents and Lady Loki, of course. I want to see her in action. But those are really just my 2 issues. Just some of the action, just not that good. Oh, and also, there was just some kind of bleak moments, because like they traveled to the year 2050, and it was really dark when they went to that store. And then Loki he shifts from him being wet, and he's like, I use my magic powers to dry myself, so I won't have to sneak up on you like the rest of your squeaky shoes. Like, it's not really the best line you could come up with. So that's really the issues I had. It's just the talking in the episode made the episode slow a little bit. The action's not that good. I mean, I enjoyed the way it was kind of choreographed, but most of it just not that good. And then, of course, one when I go to the year 2050, there was just kind of awkward moments there, and I don't really think that the way it was kind of structured, there was just some confusing things there when we went to the year 2050. Granted, when we ended the episode off with Loki leaving with Lady Loki, it did leave me with some questions, but that's it. So before I give my scores, be sure to tell me down below what did you guys think about episode 2, The Variant. Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Or right there in between? Let's get some nice discussions going. With that said, let's get on with my scores. Alright, so that's it for my scores, but we're not done yet. I want to include something with these future Marvel series and these Loki reviews, and that because of the things that I'm reviewing right now, I'm doing Marvel rankings, which this is part of the MCU, so I get to talk about stuff. So this is basically, the next part is basically going to be my theories on what could happen in future episodes and stuff like that. I don't really have much, but here are my theories. Alright, so now that we know who the Variant is of this show, and Loki went with her at the end of the episode, I'm starting to think that when they're on that world together, sitting down and stuff, it's starting to make me think, is Loki's gonna have to, if Lady Loki's out to, like, do some terrible stuff, obviously she has by doing the destruction of Asgard. I mean, I don't know if that file that Loki looked at in the episode was like the places that she attacked, but yeah, I don't know, but it's a different thing, because if Lady Loki is able to what her plan is to do, my theory is that Loki, the normal Loki that we know, 2012 Loki, my theory is that he's gonna have to choose whatever Lady Loki's plan is. He's gonna have to choose: is he gonna go along with this plan that Lady Loki has, or is he gonna go along with his destiny and rule and overthrow the Timekeepers and become ruler of the universe and the multiverse? I'm also thinking, like, is he gonna turn out to be a good guy? Like, is he gonna betray the other Lokis? Like, what's gonna happen? So that's really just my theory. Like, is he going to join Lady Loki, or is he going to go with his plan by overthrowing the Timekeepers? But we'll see what happens in the next 4 episodes. But that's my theory for Loki episode 2, and the rest of the show. But yeah, that's my theory. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram name is Marvel6, and my TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my back section to follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. Same name as my Instagram, Marvel_6_, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.